It's a new year, which means it's time to take a look at upcoming Christian video games in 2025. I am so excited to give this list to you guys. There are some absolutely incredible games coming out this year. Make sure you watch to the end of this video because the last game I talk about in this list is the biggest and most exciting Christian video game I have ever seen. With that, let's get into the list. Number 1, 1 of 500. 1 of 500 is one of the most ambitious and graphically beautiful Christian video games I have ever seen. This game takes you back to ancient Jerusalem in the shoes of Max.
Hi, I'm Max.
A boy who gets to experience the life and miracles of Jesus Christ firsthand. I was able to get my hands on a playtest for this game in 2024, and what I saw was a heavily story-driven adventure game that fully immerses you as you climb, sneak, and dash through the Middle East back in the days of Jesus. This game has robust dialogue, cutscenes, and even branching storylines depending on what you choose to do or say at different parts of the game. For example, the game gives you a choice to lie and be an absolute jerk to the characters in the story. I mean, I like being mean sometimes.
I guess being mean is just who I am.
The initial story follows Max as he is about to be kicked out of school by his rabbi, pushing him to desperately break into the synagogue in an effort to acquire what he needs to protect his studies. So you break into church in this game?
And they said it was ADT, somebody broke in your church.
After breaking into church, synagogue, your friend then proceeds to get paralyzed from a fall while trying to escape. I've heard of plenty of people getting unparalyzed at church. I've never heard of anyone getting paralyzed at church, which probably means later on in the story, Jesus is going to perform a miracle to heal your paralyzed friend. Let's just say if I end up getting that right, and that's a spoiler, they owe me a free copy of the game. I think that's only fitting. Do you hear that, devs? Visually, this is one of the most beautiful games I have ever seen in the Christian game industry. As you guys can see from some of the footage I captured, this is on par, in my opinion, with a lot of AAA titles today. The facial animations are a little weird, but my face is weird, so what can I say? This game is still under active development and unfortunately has been very silent on social media. I mean, they literally have only made 2 posts over the last year. The only page to top that is my failed meme page with 26 followers and 1 post over the last year. We still don't have a definitive release date, but hopefully we'll get some beta or alpha release over the next year, which would be great. Number 2, Bogens Cross. Have you ever wondered what would happen if Po from Kung Fu Panda converted to Christianity and used his butt-kicking abilities to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ? I never thought in my entire life that I would be asking this question, but I'm sure that there are just hundreds of you who are just lie awake at night pondering that deep question, and if that's you, well, this is the game for you. I don't think I did a good job of making people want to play this game. Bogens Cross is a very artistic and unique take on the Christian crusades of the medieval era. You play as Bogdan, a knight bear who is on a quest to atone for his past sins as a Templar knight. What kind of sins does a bear need to repent of? Eating too much honey?
Well, it all comes from eating too much.
This game is being developed by a first-time game developer and previously award-winning animation filmmaker, which explains its beautiful, creative, and cinematic style. Visually, it combines a semi-low poly art style with incredible colors and light schemes. I love seeing modern games go back in time and embrace classic art styles, but make them look even better than they were able to decades in the past with older hardware. Actually, according to the game, Bogdan is a shepherd bear. I don't know how that works. I love this shot in the game of these sheep following a bear. He'd be leading them to the dinner table for all that they know. Like, I think there's a reason why sheep go down as some of the most stupid creatures in the world. Gameplay consists of side-scrolling peppered with combat against other animal or creature-themed foes. You'll find yourself having to solve puzzles and explore the environment to find various collectibles. This game is quite unlike anything else I've ever seen a Christian game developer create, so I'm very curious to see what it shapes up to be. This is slated for a full release in 2025, and you can wish list it with the link in the video description below. Number 3, As One We Survive. As One We Survive is a top-down, post-apocalyptic survival game under development by one of the most skilled game devs I know. It's basically Christian zombie apocalypse. It's not really. I just like saying that. This game throws you into a world that is descended into chaos and violence. Roving gangs line the streets, and society as we know it is in collapse. You, as the main player, are thrust into a quest to search this new dangerous world for medicine to heal your sick daughter. As you explore the challenging environment, you must take out dangerous bands of criminals and search abandoned houses for survival items and loot. A Christian video game with actual combat? Count me in. I mean, just to have a faith-based game where you have actual real combat and aren't just shooting people with the sword of the spirit, this is great. From what I see, this is all of the mechanics necessary to be a solid survival game. Resource collecting and crafting, vitals management, and camping, among other mechanics. The Christian elements of this game are lightly told, but important to the world as you recruit groups of people to gather together for protection, and the church is an important central hub for survival. Similarly to Bogens Cross, this embraces a beautiful, classic, semi-low poly art style, supplemented by modern colors, lighting, and vegetation. Hopefully soon we'll see like some type of beta alpha. I don't know if we're gonna see a full release this year, but I'll absolutely be keeping my eyes peeled for this title. If you're enjoying this video, I would love for you to join my Discord channel. That is a way that you can get a first look at videos when they're released, and also provide me feedback on the videos I'm making and give your own ideas on the videos you think that I should make. And you can also chat with other subscribers from the channel. So check the link below and join the Monkastery Discord chat. Number 4, the Serpent and the Seed. For those of you who grew up playing classic point-and-click adventure games and missed this genre of titles in the modern video game era, this is the game for you. This is being developed by a huge fan of classic adventure games, utilizing modern video game features to make an artistically beautiful, eye-catching game that lets you play through a history of the Bible from Adam to Jesus. You get to explore the story of the Bible as a cute little bird. I mean, haven't you ever wanted to be a bird?
I'm a bird.
The developer has put in a lot of work to make this game as immersive as possible as you travel from locations like the Garden of Eden, Pharaoh's Palace, and Calvary during the crucifixion. I've got a couple suggestions for a couple other chapters and characters that should be added to the game. Hear me out. First of all, you have Jonah's belly adventures, then you have Samson's barber shop, and then you have Esau's stew cooking show. Those would be some great additions. If the developer adds any of those sections to this game, I expect full royalties. Do you hear me, Andy? From what I see, this is shaping up to be a heavily experience-driven game, largely without mechanics such as combat or crafting, focusing rather on simple gameplay mechanics to allow you to focus on the world that you are in. Movement consists of simple left or right scrolling, perhaps with a few puzzles here or there, but it's largely very simple with many interactive elements in the world for you to tap on and engage with. And for those of you who think gaming is too complex for you, if you cannot play this game, I'm sorry, there's no hope for you. You literally just move left and right. If you can't press a left arrow key and a right arrow key, I don't know what to tell you. Whatever this title shapes up to be, I'm intrigued in seeing what the dev, Andy Gears, is able to create, as this title has been a life passion of his for years. Number 5, The Anointed, Heart of David. About 2 years ago, I reviewed an Assassin's Creed-esque action game based on the story of David fighting to free the Israelites of Keilah from the attack of the Philistines nearby, and it was an interesting game to say the least. Yes, in The Anointed, camels chew their cud after they've been killed. There's a weird alien race of triangle people, and you can murder your own brother. Not sure what's going on here. Heart of David is meant to expand the scope of the game from one section of David's life to his entire life, from his humble beginnings as a shepherd to his greatness as king. And I'm glad to hear that the developer is apparently more focused on polishing the core gameplay than on creating flashy cutscenes, because when playing the initial release, there was definitely a lot of room for the core mechanics to be fleshed out. So originally the sequel to David Saves Keela was going to be named Saul Resents David. Honestly, I think they should have stuck with that title because I just would have loved to go up to one of my friends and be like, yo, you played the new Saul Resents David game? And they're just looking at me like, bro, what are you talking about? So I'm not really sure what to expect from this. If they focus on just polishing the gameplay, it could potentially be good. They don't need to be increasing the scope of this because the basic mechanics are still broken at this point. So it's kind of a toss-up. I don't know if this is going to be good or bad. I guess we're going to find out. Number 6, True Play Games. I would say that True Play Games has built one of the most polished and best marketed Christian game platforms probably in history. True Play is an entire subscription-based platform aimed at giving children an all-in-one gaming and entertainment platform without parents having to worry about ads, chat rooms, or inappropriate content. It doesn't have VeggieTales though, so I cannot give it a full seal of approval. Although they have a selection of comics, animated shorts, and more, the biggest section of this platform is, of course, their library of built-in games. Most of the games function like Christian remakes of popular arcade-style mobile games like Flappy Birds, Temple Run, Angry Birds, or Plants vs. Zombies. I mean, are these games so bad that they need Christian alternatives? Is Flappy Bird so evil that they had to make a Christian version of it? But a lot of the appeal of this platform is beyond the games themselves, lying instead with the peace of mind in knowing your kids are not going to see anything that you object to. Unfortunately, I haven't really seen any truly unique titles with new and original gameplay, but if parents are looking for an alternative to secular video games that give kids a similar experience and perhaps they don't know any different, this could be the platform for them. At least for the Angry Birds clone, they added a Scottish sloth.
We're in the Rim Faction, the land of your heart.
I don't know what he added. Can Angry Birds brag about having a Scottish sloth in it? No, exactly. A couple new titles came out last year, including King David's Battles, Chirp Song, Wings of Praise, and Lucas Mission Star Hope. The developers release at least 2 to 3 new titles every year and have built up a library of 14 games in the platform. So we're probably going to see even more titles released over the next year in the True Play platform. Number 7, Lost in the Storm. There isn't much on the internet about this title other than a few devlogs and teaser videos, but this is actually based off of a demo I played years ago by the same name. Over the last several years, this has been developed as a free-moving mystery adventure game with the closest parallels probably being titles like Nancy Drew or Sherlock Holmes. With this being a story-driven adventure game, the narrative follows a man named Andrew who, after a horrible turn of events, finds himself stuck in a subconscious realm fighting to escape a coma and return to his wife and family. That's actually a cool premise. It's basically like Inception or The Matrix as a video game, and the game itself seems to have this interesting offset of normal imagery like log cabins and snowy outdoors contrasted against these odd, fantastical locations that look like they came straight out of a fantasy movie. Back when I played the demo a couple years ago, I remember being actually pretty impressed with the visuals and how polished the game was. So hopefully with time, this game has only been fleshed out more and more. Unfortunately, the developer has had some serious setbacks during the development process, so we likely won't see a release this year, but I definitely intend to keep an eye on development as I'm very curious to see what this game ends up looking like. And now, before we get to the final game in this list, the biggest, most exciting title that all of you guys have been waiting for, there's several smaller titles that have actually come out that I wanted to breeze through very quickly. The first is a new title by Christian Game Developers Conference. They were the developers of Dreams and Nightmares, Space Beasts, and Foothold, and they've actually released their 4th title, Christmas on a Fritz. This actually technically came out in December of 2024, but it was so recent that most of you probably haven't had a chance to check it out yet. It's a retro Zelda-inspired adventure game that drops you into a frozen world full of presents, candies, bears, and monkeys with symbols on their hands. I absolutely love how this game looks. It takes me straight back to my childhood when I used to play games just like this. You can actually play this game directly in your browser, so check out the link in the video description below. I got lost and I didn't know where to go. So if someone could finish the game and tell me how to win it, I would appreciate that. Then we have Chosen of God. This is a prototype that seems to be very early in development, but I've actually seen some clips from it and it looks quite cool. It has an art style that really makes me think of Zelda with the hack and slash style, kind of like Diablo. There isn't much information on this game other than that it centers on the life of David and seems to revolve heavily around elaborate battles with Philistines. Honestly, I can't wait to see what the Goliath fight in this game looks like, especially if they make it realistic to the Bible and you have to chop off his head. Why did my brain go there? I don't know. And now for the title everyone has been waiting for. Gate Zero, also known as Bible X, has to be at this point the most ambitious and largest scale Christian video game ever developed. From this massive true to scale view of ancient Jerusalem and the Temple Mount to the meticulous details when exploring the world of Judah and Jesus' day up close, everything about this game exudes excellence. I mean, you actually get to explore a life-sized Temple Mount. That's crazy. Plus, you get to throw rocks at Roman guards in this game. If anytime you've ever read the Bible, you're like, I wish I could throw a rock at that guy and not get murdered, this is your chance. You can't stone them though. That's not allowed. They didn't program that feature. Although set in ancient Jerusalem, this game actually starts in the future. Years ahead of us, the world has fallen under the iron grip of a dictatorial government known as D-Force. When D-Force starts to restrict the church and its access to the Word of God, believers design a time machine that lets them travel back to the days of Jesus so that they can gather evidence to prove D-Force's lies to be false. Also, the main character in this game sounds like Harry Potter.
It's a totally electric atmosphere.
Depending on who you ask, that's either a big plus or a big minus. At this point, Gate Zero has crowdfunded over $500,000, probably closer to $1 million, and has a full team of developers ensuring that everything about the game, from core gameplay mechanics to graphics to the historical accuracy of the world you'll play in, is top notch. Across all social media platforms, they have close to 500,000 followers, unlike my 26 followers, easily making them the most well-known Christian video game project ever. Although we're probably not going to have a full game released this year, it's very likely that there's going to be an early access of some sort. As a matter of fact, for those of you who might be chomping at the bit, you can actually go ahead and download the demo, which will give you a first look at what to expect with the full title. Either way, I am so excited for this and can't wait to see what it looks like. Well, anyway, guys, that's all the games coming out in 2025. Did I miss any? If I did, tell me in the comments below, and I would also love to know. Comment what your favorite game from this list is and the one that you're most excited about. Click this video that's on my face if you want to see a list of upcoming Christian movies and TV shows in 2025. And with that, I just wanted to tell you guys, Jesus loves you. And if you've never entered a personal relationship with Jesus, I would love to tell you how, as I believe it'll change your life just like it has mine. With that, see you guys in the next video.